You have no idea how long it took me to get these lights to look like this and not this. So I watched every episode of the Hype House, so you didn't have to. And yes, I am leaving this sweater on up like this because I just got it and I like it. So here's my brief knowledge of the Hype House. I know nothing about it. In case you can't tell, I'm a little older than their targeted audience. And I really could care less about that type of drama. TikTok? But I don't really care about it. So that's why this interested me so much, because what is this? I literally, going into this, knew 2 characters, 2 players. I now know like 12. That's like 12 more than I needed to know. So, disclaimer, mom, dad, probably my boyfriend, you guys are not gonna care about this video, like, at all. Like, I can't even see you watching 30 seconds of it, honestly. I don't even see you getting to this disclaimer. And I'm gonna tell you that before, not to really watch it because you're not gonna care. But I'm assuming you care, because you clicked on it. And this is something I'd wanna watch. Let's get started. I had to make sure that I was in focus that entire time. Can you imagine? I do this whole long video and I'm not in focus. Alright, here are my notes. So I broke down every episode. I'm a little nervous though. Episode 1 is called A Hype House Divided. So it starts out with some sick music. Like right when it started playing, I was like, this music is pretty good. Into a cool kind of bus, and cuts immediately to Thomas, the manager. It's so cringy. With the amount of followers on social media he has. And I, literally out loud, I saw it. It said, ew. I do not need that right now. They begin to introduce the other people of the Hype House, who I, as previously stated, have no idea who any of these people are. And then Lorraine comes on screen, and I say, I know him, but then his followers appear on screen. And I said, oh my god, Lorraine, when did you get so famous? Oh my god, good job. Way better than me. And then Nikita shows up, and then it's literally the entire reason I like Nikita. Look at how she's dressed. Look at what she looks like. She literally looks like the offspring of Big Bird and Elmo. Spin-off series. So this entire episode has Team 10 meets David vlogs kind of vibes.
10, 20-year-olds living in a $5 million house together, filming content all day.
And this scene made me scream laugh. Maybe this is why I liked it so much.
Vinny's the newest member of the house. He's a fresh face. He's the new talent.
We cut to the main overarching theme, Chase's house, and how Chase no longer lives there. Like, oh my god, he no longer lives in the Hype House with them. Like, that is so crazy. That is not hype. The overarching theme of this video is that Chase, also known as Little Huddy, who used to date, in case nobody knew, because I didn't, Charlie D'Amelio, is no longer a part of the main Hype House. He moved to LA because he's gonna start his music career. And don't you worry, that is a big part of this series. So big of a part of the series, you think it's actually promoting his music. They keep showing Chase living in this house, and they're just showing me, the boomer. I feel like a boomer watching this. That Chase doesn't live there.
It sucks that I haven't been able to kind of go to you guys, and now I'm finishing up the album. It's been quite a hard time, and I'm sorry I haven't been able to like come out to y'all.
And Nikita shows up so many times in this house. I'm pretty sure she lives there. She kind of says she like sleeps on the couch or like in whatever bed she can get in, and that made me laugh because I believe it. So they want to throw a party at the Hype House, the hypest of the house. But guess what? Chase isn't there anymore, so they don't want to invite him. But then he does get invited, and it's super awkward because he hasn't talked to Thomas in like 3 hours, and that is awkward.
You talked to Thomas at all?
Not yet, no.
Wait, so you were here for 3 whole hours before I got here, and you did not talk to Thomas?
No.
Oh my God, Thomas!
Overall, this episode is Chase doesn't live at the house, and he doesn't know where he stands with the hype house, because guess what? He wants a booming music career. And this was the first time I wrote down that Nikita was my favorite character because she was fun.
Good morning. It's smelling good because a lot of these bitches don't wear deodorant, and they need to. They really do. Boys, y'all are hard. Y'all are hard to talk to. That's why I switched over. I said the male species, the communication. You guys have Dragon Beauty here? Or was it sold out?
Crazy.
So let me rate this episode. A 6 out of 10. Like, honestly, a 6 out of 10. I finished, and I thought to myself, if I was not making this video, would I watch another episode? Yeah. I had nothing better to watch. I finished The Witcher. There's nothing else on Netflix. So yeah, I'd watch another episode. Sure, why not? This episode was one of the only ones I could watch while not paying attention. So I could write down in my notes, I could go to the bathroom and come back and really wouldn't miss anything because they're still telling me that Chase is not a part of that hype house. He's not hyped. Chase isn't hyped anymore. The music bops. This takes us to episode 2, Love and Social Media. It cuts to Nikita and this chick in the bed, and she's like eating chips. Chips! And it's like a real vibe, but she's being super dramatic.
How was Chase?
I just get frustrated with him because he always just wanted to be very involved until music. So I told him that it bothered me that he hasn't been around.
This episode is still about Chase. It's still about he's not hype.
A lot to say about this one. The way that Chase moved out was disrespectful, rude as f. I don't even know how you could do that to one of your friends.
They briefly bring up that Chase still wants the hype house to pay for his house. And that's where I get a little confused because I'm like, oh, are they mad because Chase is living in a house that this other content house is paying for? Because if that's the case, then of course, like, why would you even be mad? Kick him off. Like, no, you're not. I'm not paying for you to live in a house and you're not providing us any content because that was the original. You're gonna deal with this. That was the original rules. Is that he would go and live in LA and pursue music, but then he would also promote Bang, which is like an energy drink that causes me major anxiety. Don't drink Bangs. Just don't. Bang, you're never gonna sponsor me because I have 21 subscribers. But don't drink Bang, so you know it's honest. Also, Thomas's girlfriend is drama AF. So this episode is kind of about how Chase and Charlie aren't Charlie D'Amelio, in case you don't know who Charlie is. She's kind of popular or whatever. She's actually extremely talented. Side note, I wish she posted, maybe she does, more videos of her actually dancing. My jaw dropped when I saw her, like, actually dancing. She's very talented. I just wish she didn't do, like... But they keep bringing up Charlie. I don't know if it's a clout thing, or if it really is hurting Chase, or I don't know if it's a clout thing, or if he's, like, truly in pain. He's probably truly, I don't know, I'm not Chase. Who's Nick? Nick is, I literally wrote in my my notes, Nick is becoming irrelevant, trying to find content. My roommate just said we should get a pig. Okay. Who's Nick? Oh, I meant Alex. Alex does this weird bit where he's like trying to go into outer space and he like gets in this thing and it like spins him really fast, but it actually does not spin him really fast. But Alex has no content. This is a theme throughout the rest of the show as well, that he has no ideas and he's trying so hard, but the fact that he's trying so hard is leading to him not having ideas. It's kind of sad. It's got very David. He's the one who brings the David's vlogs. He does a lot of like pranks and like And it was really funny the way that they edited this. Nikita was like walking in and it was like this cool like girl power song, and then she just slams the door. It's not even that funny, but the pacing of it is really funny. Here's some things I also thought were funny in the episode.
Super like his vibe. It fits him so well, like Dracula. But I'm just so mad. His interior designer sucks. Whoever decorated the house is awful. Look at this. Get like me, bitch. Look at this elegance. Y'all see this? I got succulents, bitch.
They're at this party at Chase's house and they invited Charlie, and I hope they didn't do it for a clout thing. I hope they truly did it because they want to be her friend, because as I watch this episode, I believe this is the only episode she's in, like truly in as a physical being.
Hi, good to see you. Good to see you too. Thank you for coming.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Camera crew kind of continually like creeps on what Charlie's doing. Like you can see them be like, and it's just kind of weird. It seems out of place. I mean, it seems like they're like, Charlie's here, make sure you get as much screen time as on her as possible. And she's like, I kind of feel bad for her.
Are you in a relationship?
No.
Oh, you're not.
Sorry.
Cause weren't you guys?
Yeah.
But why are you over here and she's over there?
Asking like if he's dating anyone, you're just sitting there like probably trying not to cry. At this party, these underage kids are getting drunk. I'm pretty sure they're like 20 and 18. They play this really cute game of Jenga and where they have to do like truth or dare and like whatever.
FaceTime the most famous person in your phone.
Oh, the show cuts to this super awkward like fight between Alex and Kovu. Alex and Kovu were dating before they became a part of the Hype House, so obviously they're still dating. And then they start fighting, and they're like fighting about closet space, and it's like super awkward. I'm just not about this story arc about Alex and Kovu. They spend a lot of this episode talking about cancel culture and then how the comments get to them and how people tell them to like kill themselves or whatever.
You should just die. And I'm like, who raised you? Ugh.
They continue to bring up the Thomas and Chase drama. Like they're like, we should have Thomas over. We should have Thomas over. We should have Thomas over. And Chase clearly does not want Thomas over.
Why did you not invite Thomas?
Oh my God. It's like against the law to not do everything with Thomas.
If Chase wanted Thomas over, he would have been over. Like that's just a 27-year-old looking at this like, come on. It's hard to believe this is all the same episode. It cuts to the scene of the Hype House being so unbelievably dirty, and they just need to hire a nanny? A nanny, and they actually need to hire a nanny. They need to hire a maid. Alex decides to make a video content of, I popped my foot, of this little fox thing, and he's gonna surprise Cover with it. And it was the cutest little fox thing. So you will meet this episode's favorite character, Willow the fox. This show shows so much of Nikita where you begin to think she's the main character. Like this show should literally be called Nikita Dragon, featuring the Hype House.
Bring some cute boys. Where the boys at? Is it BYOGs and bring your own dick?
And she stirs the pot. She stirs the pot by saying, I might actually join Boy House, which is in reference to Chase. And then Thomas says, oh yeah, you're just over there, like, and then leading to, why wasn't I invited? After Nikita and Thomas have this super awkward conversation, it cuts to the next day. We're still on Nikita because she's the main character of the show. And her like agent or something, I don't know the specifics, that Lorraine's managing team told them that Nikita's the reason, I'm trying to get this all straight in my head, that Nikita's the reason that he was over at Chase's house for the party because she got so drunk he had to rescue her. When you can clearly tell in the footage, like, he was there to, like, hang out too. Which this is so weird because up to this point I really liked Lorraine a lot, and then I felt backstabbed because he backstabbed her. Oh! I almost left out the most important point of that story. The reason they were mad was because Lorraine tested positive for COVID, and then he went to the party, but then he told Nikita that he actually was a false positive, and then she's like, okay, come on. But yeah, so it ends with Nikita being like, I literally have to confront him. What am I gonna say to him? And then it's like, next episode. I rate that episode a 6 out of 10. Again, I'd watch another. I enjoyed it enough to be like, what's Nikita gonna say to this guy? Like, how's Lorraine gonna become my second favorite character again? And, well, third favorite, because we're never cutting out Willow. You kind of had to pay attention. I tried to not pay attention, but I had to keep rewinding because I kind of got a little lost. And the music still slaps hard. Episode 3 is called Low Key Beefing, and we are brought to Thomas and Thomas's girlfriend, I think her name's Mia, standing in the kitchen on a call with Lorraine. And they're talking about how Vinny, oh my god, Vinny, remember Vinny? He's the really talented one, now has COVID. And they go, oh my god, like, how are you gonna go to a party after you figure out you have COVID? Which, I mean, actually, yeah. And then Mia is like, I hate it. Everybody thinks he's so perfect. And you're just like, geez, calm down. Calm down, okay? Are you playing it up for the camera? Or like, is this you? Because Lorraine tested positive for COVID, whether or not it was a false positive, which he said it was, but they had to go on a 2-week quarantine. And it's just them walking around and they're like, I hate my life. Lorraine, Chase, and nobody else that really matters go to an antique shop and are trying on all these like vintage clothes.
21st century tampon.
Lorraine has no inkling of an idea why Nikita could possibly be ignoring all of his phone calls, all of his texts. He doesn't get it.
I really don't know why.
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Lorraine has no idea why she's mad at him. And maybe she doesn't. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I'm not Lorraine. So they devise a good middle school plan, and the dude sitting next to Lorraine, who I still don't know the name of, calls Nikita. Nikita answers. She's like, yo, what's up, my dog? And then they hang up, and then Lorraine calls. And Nikita does not answer. And Lorraine's like, all right, that's it. She's 100% mad at me, and I have no idea why she's mad at me. Thomas finally goes to Little Huddy's giant mansion that is apparently funded by the Hype House. Like, why hasn't he been there before? They finally sit down and get to the meat of it. Chase is not making content, and Thomas doesn't like it, because when Chase makes content, they make money. And when he doesn't, they don't make money. And if he's paying for their house, he needs to make content. It literally makes sense to me. I just found one of the funny spots. After this awkward conversation, the next day, Thomas has the courage to bring everybody up, bring everyone that's living in the house into the living room, and is like, hey, we need to start getting content because we're going under and we're not the same as we were 2 years ago because Charlie and Addison left. So we need to start making money. My words, not his. And then Vinny says something really funny that they're like, we can make content with each other on this Hype House main TikTok page that we can't make on our normal page. And then Vinny's like, yeah, Thomas and I can do thirst traps. And it's really funny because Vinny he doesn't hate doing them, but he seems to dislike. They make it seem like he doesn't like doing thirst traps. And then Vinny's being interviewed in this cool van that I mentioned earlier. And the person holding the boom mic or interviewing him goes, what's a thirst trap? And then he goes, thirst trap is when you take off your shirt and sing the lyrics to a song. It's just super cringy. The scene cuts to Nikita, who I did not know who could skateboard, but is skateboarding everywhere in this really outfit. This dude goes, hey, why you not talking Lorraine? And she goes, he hurt my feelings. And then they actually get into a deep conversation about how Lorraine's kind of he's the reason that she was even brought into the Hype House. So she has a strong connection with him. And you can tell, they're the two funniest people. They are the show. And they really have good chemistry. And you can tell, if I was her, that would hurt me so bad. So she's like, I literally feel betrayed. I feel betrayed. Then cuts to a scene of Chase doing music, and he sounds okay. He sounds pretty good. So that's pretty good. Things you missed. Nikita has a dinner. She tells everybody at the table why she's mad at Lorraine, and she starts crying. I feel bad for her, of course I do. Alex is still trying to figure out how to do a prank. Then cuts Chase, who is now on vocal rest because he's been singing too much. So he can't sing for the next 5 days and has to write him. And when he has to write everything, he carries around this like notebook, and it has like the scariest writing I've literally ever seen in my entire life on it, and that literally says, "I can't talk." Oh, and there was a dodgeball tournament. It's to bring together Thomas and Chase, the overarching theme. At this dodgeball tournament, the most high school thing that could possibly happen happens. Lorraine comes up to Nikita, pulls her over to the side, and is like, "Why are you mad at me?" And then she tells him, he says, "I had no idea, I'm so sorry," kind of, and then they move on, but like Nikita kind of still doesn't trust him, but like she's the main character, so. In saying that, I still love Lorraine. With that, the episode is done. Look, Nikita and Lorraine are now friends. Chase and Thomas, and he's also on vocal rest. I rate this episode a 6 out of 10. Again, I'd watch another episode. My favorite character in this episode is Chase's terrifying handwriting on his notebook. Episode 4 is called Fake Wedding, and I actually really didn't care for this episode. Alex and Kovu are going to be faking a wedding, and it kind of sucks because, as stated, they've been dating for like 2 to 3 years, and she clearly wants to get married, but he's like 20 and not ready for it, which I get it. He's 20 and not ready for it.
I just wish it was real. That's all. It's just my little kid dreams.
You can see in Kovu's eyes that this is like, and they bring it up a bunch of times,
I want it to be real so badly, and so it kind of makes my stomach turn a little bit.
But damn, I know she wants that ring, bitch.
This is really hurting her.
Anyways, it seems like it's fun, and so I'm just gonna push through it.
Like living this dream that she wants to be in and sees herself, but he's not ready, and she can clearly, they're like saying their vows, and it's really sad because they're faking it. So it's just kind of an awkward, like, just kind of weird. The second plot of this episode now turns the tables, and Lorraine is the one being canceled because Nikita is blackfishing everybody. This is referring to when Nikita had continuous photos of herself, whether she uploaded them or they were uploaded, where her race continued to change, and I didn't really think anything of it when I was watching it. I was like, there's lighting involved. If you're tan, sometimes you look completely different when you're tan and when you're not tan. But then I was showing my friend, I was explaining to her Nikita, and I showed her the photo, and I literally was like, oh, I am now paying attention to this photo. And this was not good. So, that's strike one for Nikita. Nikita will not be my favorite person in this episode. In fact, my favorite person in this episode is Lorraine's grandmother.
Stop posting embarrassing pictures of me on Instagram, by the way. Oh my God. My fans are literally making fun of me. They're bullying me. But
who is featured because Lorraine goes to his grandma's house, and he lived in Compton. They like to tell you a lot that he lived and came from Compton. He's just meeting with Gram. This episode ends before Lorraine and Nikita actually have their conversation. So overall, I rated this episode a 7 out of 10. It ended up being a little more emotional, and as it ended, I wanted to see how Lorraine was going to approach Nikita, and so it made me want to watch another episode. They did what they were supposed to. The songs were okay in this one. They didn't flip and bop like how they had been, so that was a little disappointing. We're halfway done, guys. Moving on to episode 5, called Alex and the Terrible, Horrible No. We are brought back to Lorraine and Nikita's conversation. She uses the excuse that I had kind of came up with her, like it's not her fault, there was lighting, she doesn't control the editing for all of her photos, etc. And Lorraine's kind of like, well, I'm your friend, and I'm gonna always be honest with you. and what I'm seeing is not okay. And I know that what I'm seeing online is not the same person that I see. Like, you are not that person. Like, you don't look like that. And they keep cutting to like outcuts of Nikita looking like her interview from the very first episode, and I can't help but like think it's funny. Cutting to what I'm presumably the next day. Because Alex has literally no ideas for any video whatsoever, Nikita is going to give him an idea.
I feel like you need to experience things in order to elevate your content, you know?
What are you talking about?
She would like to dress him up in drag, or dress him up as a woman. She just wants to dress him up. And then there's this really funny scene that happens where Alex is like, you trying to glam me up? And then she goes, you don't have to beg me. And I think it is so funny. I just like her energy, like she's just aware of being how extra she is. And I just enjoy that. Literally, as much as I'm talking about her, you can tell I'm not focusing on her. This show is like filtered to Nikita. It's like her publicist is the one that's like, you know what we should do? Make a hype house video. And then she's just in it. She's not even in the hype house. She's just there. She also asks Vinny, who she's like low-key crushing on because there's no other options, if she could dress him up. And he's like, yeah, sure. It cuts to another scene at the hype house where Thomas is super stressed, and then cuts to my favorite character of this episode, Milo the dog. I love Milo the dog. He's just like... And so Thomas is super frustrated that nobody in this content house wants to make content. They've gotten lazy. They're okay with their one-time videos. And they just don't want to make content on the main hype house. Like literally the TikTok that's making it so that they can be millionaires and have fancy cars and eat and do whatever they want. They don't care. They don't care. They just want to be lazy. This episode's kind of about Alex and his relationship growing up with his dad, how his father died when he was younger, and when that happened, his mom kind of dwindled away and wasn't able to be the mother that she should have been. And there he's having this conversation with his brother. This scene was actually really sad and very emotional, so I don't want to play it off. Like, it was pretty sad. So also in this episode, Alex is still trying to get his groove back with his videos, and he can't quite get it, so he decides to make this prank where this video is this chick named Taddy and Michael are dating, I guess, in the hype house. And Taddy has a twin sister named named Alex. Oh wait, no, that's the dude's name. Oh, Natty. So Taddy has a twin sister named Natty. So Natty's gonna be, the sister's gonna be kissing Vinny, the dude who likes to take his shirt off. And Michael's gonna walk in. And this is all a prank. And Michael's gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, you're kissing my girl. And they're gonna be like, haha, it's the other girl. And then Michael is like, oh, that's so funny. Well, I guess the internet did not like that someone was kissing Vinny, because Vinny is theirs. Vinny is my sexy poo-poo. Like, he's mine, and I'm gonna date him, and how dare he be kissed. So this episode is about how the internet kind of started canceling them and really like takes control of their lives, and Vinny doesn't know if he can take it because he just wants to live his life and play games because he's also a gamer boy. But because this video went just absolutely terrible, Alex doesn't want to offend anyone. Alex and Vinny, both of them, do not want to offend anyone by being dressed up by Nikita. So they tell her that, no, we don't want that in our lives. And then she goes, sorry, I saw this thing though. I was like, is that on my face? And then she goes, what? Well, who am I gonna dress up? And then Vinny's like, okay, you can dress me up a little. And then this other dude's like, you can dress me up. So then they do like it was a pretty good scene. I really like this scene because Nikita was in it. And she's the only one who brings real life to the...
I haven't done boy glam in forever.
When was the last time?
Probably when I was a boy.
I forgot about this. Alex's career is degrading, and he goes out to go skateboarding, and he literally like twists his ankle when he's skating, and it's this huge dramatic scene of them having to like drag him back to the house. And that's the end of this episode. So once again, I rate this a 7 out of 10. I didn't mind it. I enjoyed it. Once again, I would not recommend it. Like, if you like what I'm talking about, you'll probably like the show. But for a one-time watch, I did not mind it. I still wanted to watch, because you gotta find out, is Alex's ankle okay? No, I literally just watch it because of Nikita. This leads us to episode 6, titled Clickboards. Not what it's titled Clickbaits. It opens up once again about Thomas being sad about Chase. And then cuts again to Lorray and his friends at their house being sad about Chase. And how the hype house in itself is becoming more like a business than an actual fun house to be at. Which, like, that's what it is. It's a business. I hate to break it to you guys. It's a business. So because they're still trying to make this hype house thing a thing when we clearly know it's dead. So Thomas wants them to go on this grandioso vacation. By grandioso, I mean it's a trailer park. It's like a trailer park in like Joshua Tree or Arizona or something like that. So they all get into a bus, a little vans, their little boy band and their little hype house, and they all drive. And when they get there, surprise, surprise, nobody makes content. Because I don't think they realize they're there to make content. I think they're there because they think they just all want to have fun. So they start underage drinking. Thomas gets super upset. He's like, we are here to make content. Why is nobody making content? And then Mia flippin' just blows a rocket.
About no one doing. We're like,
No one's even talking about that. Why are you upset for no reason?
don't be rude.
And the episode kind of ends there. Like, this was an okay episode. Yeah, I literally rated it 4 out of 10 and called it boring. And that's it. I don't even have a favorite character. Oh, I do have a favorite character. It's the poster in Chase's room. If that shows anything. I'm getting tired. Alright, episode 7. Episode 7 is called Friendship Goals. They're still at this camping thing, and people are getting really, really drunk. And it's kind of weird because like I said, you know they're underage. And then they show this scene and it's really funny.
What content does she want us to film?
I found you in your trailer watching Ratatouille.
Eating pizza.
And Thomas starts to cry because he's super frustrated, and I totally get that. And then he goes on about how the hype house is his home. And then that kind of ends. There's like this scene about how scary it is there.
Connor was scared to leave his room.
It was weird. I stayed up the entire night because I couldn't sleep.
I thought I was gonna like die or get possessed or like, I don't know.
They all reconcile and they do a TikTok together where someone dances and they all like do this. Alex decides that maybe the reason he's not ready to get married yet, which is kind of the theme from a couple episodes back when he fakes his marriage, is because he never got a childhood. So now he's living out his childhood now and he still feels like a child. So he doesn't feel like he's ready to get married. So he feels like he needs to go to his father's grave and kind of like close that chapter, which, yeah, makes sense. And this episode's kind of sad. So it ends with Alex going to the grave. I didn't rate this one when I had first finished watching it, but I think overall from my memory of it, it was like a 6 out of 10. Music was pretty good. The music seems to be bopping for this, so surprisingly. But it was okay. This was fine. It is emotional when he goes to his grave. Not like I'm gonna cry, but like I feel moved. So thank you for moving me. And finally, episode 8, the finale. Episode 8 is called The Glow Up. There's 2 main things that are happening in this episode. Chase is about to have his first concert, because if you forgot, because we haven't talked about it in a while, Chase does music. That's low-key kind of good. And the other one is that Nikita never got to have a prom. She never got to have a prom as Nikita. She got to have a prom. So she really wants to relive that experience and get to dress in a beautiful dress. So to prep, Nikita gets plastic surgery. This is why I love her. She doesn't like her boobs, I guess, are like getting a little wrinkly, and she doesn't like that. So she got like a steroid, or she got like Juvederm or something in it. I'd probably not Juvederm. I'm not a plastic surgeon, but she got something so the wrinkles would go away. This series starts to kind of close up all the loose ends, like people's daddy issues. So Thomas goes and he talks to his dad about the issues that he's having with the Hype House and how nobody wants to make content. Thomas eventually makes up with Chase. And the show kind of still brings up Charlie like whenever they possibly can, which, gotta get that cash, baby. They spend the next half of the episode getting ready for prom, and they used this prom, even though you first heard about it like one episode behind, they used this as like the big finale. They're all going to prom, even though Nikita's 25, but I'm still like all for this like plot line. They all go to prom, and while I'm watching this, there's one person I am excited to see how they show up, because the entire season they have had the most extravagant outfits, and that person is Nikita. You're right. So I'm like, what's she gonna show up in? Is she gonna show up in like a Cinderella dress, like some skimpy dress? Like, what are you going with, girl? You just got your boobs done. Like, what, we gonna see them? What's the deal here? And I am so pleasantly surprised in the outfit she shows up with. I almost started tearing up. I'm not being dramatic. I was on my period, but I'm not being dramatic. Like, she showed up in this beautiful, like, elegant dress. Like, not too over elegant, like just lightly elegant dress. And she brought a little corsage, and she went with her crush Vinny. Remember the guy who likes to take his shirt off and play video games? And it was just nice. Like, it was like, this is very wholesome. Like, that's what this last part of the episode was. It was very wholesome and nice that everyone was getting along. There wasn't that much drama. They were all just letting her live out this like thing that she never got to live. During the prom, Alex and Kovu also talk about their future, and that he's like, I do want to marry you. I do. And the fact that you went with me, and they cherish this moment of him crying on her lap at the cemetery, and it was a very caring moment. And he's like, the fact you were there, it means so much to me, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I'm just not ready yet. And she's like, well, I don't want to be 40. And he's like, we're literally 20. Whoa, look at my hands. We're literally 20, like, chill. And she's like, okay, just please promise me not 40. And then Nikita says this line, one should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outfit changes in a day. And then she shows up in the outfit I thought she would arrive in. Like, I thought maybe Cinderella, but like a more skimpier outfit. And it's like, there's Nikita. I see her now. There you are, girl. There you are, girl. So as the show reaches the end, all things are tied up. Chase got to do his concert. Chase and Thomas are now friends. Everyone says they're gonna make videos for the Hype House now, at least leaning towards that. Alex and Kovu are planning on getting married sometime in the future. She really didn't get a date, but that's okay now. Like, she's okay with it. Nikita got to go to prom. Lorray and his boyfriend got to dance together at prom. That was sweet. And they're all just kind of gonna be a family. It cuts to 6 months later, and Alex and Kovu are moving out with some other person, and they're gonna go have a house together, and they're splitting up the Hype House. And Thomas makes it seem like this is such a great idea. We're gonna have more Hype Houses now. And I'm like, wasn't that what Chase's house was? And wasn't that just like the entire 8 episodes I had literally just watched? So then that happened, and then it kind of makes me be like, awkward, because you just said like the Hype House was gonna last forever, and then now they're tearing apart. But that was a little awkward. And then Thomas cries a little. Same. This season ends with Thomas saying that he thinks he found a couple people to replace them in this Hype House. And then it ends, leaving it open for a possible season 2, or leaving it open so he doesn't look embarrassed. I haven't followed up with anything on if the Hype House is alive, but I don't think it is. This episode I rate a 7 out of 10. Music is good. I would like to add that the consulting producers were Thomas and Chase. Do with that what you will. My overall rating of this show. I would rate this overall show a 6 out of 10. Like I said before, I would not recommend it to anyone. But if you like drama channels, or if you like just kind of internet shows, almost had very internet show vibes, then you might enjoy it. Like, I recommended it to my little sister, she's 14, because we both enjoy that kind of internet thing, and I think if you enjoy that too, it would be an okay show to watch. But if this overview, a monstrosity of that I just gave you is fine, then you don't need to watch it. Like, if you're like, I think I get the idea, then you don't need to watch it, even though this is called I Watch It, so you didn't have to watch it. But you get what I'm saying. So that's the end of my notes. I hope I did an okay job editing it. But that is the end of my video, and I'm really scared to edit this. Excuse me. I'm so tired. It's 10 o'clock at night, and I just got my booster COVID shot, and I have like a raging headache, and I have to pee really bad, and I'm nervous when I start editing this that I'm not gonna have any footage. I'm just excited the lights aren't shaking anymore. So, probably gonna have some overview of me talking, and I hope I can get some footage from Netflix so I can screen record some stuff. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was so good that you don't have to watch it, but if you do, good luck. All right, bye.